Now, when you're looking over a restaurant menu, you're probably focused on how things are going to taste. But there are some eateries that also make using local ingredients and reducing food waste high priorities. And that certainly applies to Taeyoung Chang, head chef at Coho Coffee. Taeyoung, hello there.
Hey, Gloria, how's it going?
It's going well. So, Coho Coffee, part of this Coho collective in East Vancouver. Tell us about the collective.
Yeah, so the collective is kind of the overbearing structure of three separate commissaries throughout Vancouver that hosts about 80 separate businesses. And the coffee shop is the only one of its kind on Clark and East Georgia. And what we try to do is use all of our members' products in a cafe menu that makes sense.
Okay, so how do you decide which foods to feature when you're putting together that cafe menu?
Well, it is 80 small businesses, and they're all very hungry entrepreneurs. So a lot of them approach me, but it is just kind of approaching them too and having that kind of conversation, that really collaborative process to see what kind of goes with our values and what would make sense.
Okay, so just give me an example of how that would play out. You know, how one of your menu items came together through those conversations.
Yeah, one of the companies here is Van Koji. So it's a single woman named Tanami. She makes koji, which is a fungus, like a mold, similar to miso, and it's very salty, really umami forward. And we would love to use that, but we just didn't know how. I really like mushrooms. I really like toast. We had a bakery, and it all just kind of went from there and fell into this mushroom on toast dish that we have now.
Okay, it sounds lovely, but people may know you though from your commitment to reducing food waste. So how did this become important to you?
I feel like a lot of the food waste thing was built on community. When I first started my last business, it was thinking of how I could give back. And when I heard that there was this massive food source that we were throwing away just because of how it looked, it kind of bridged across all my values of not judging things by just, I guess, not judging a book by its cover and just making the most of what we have.
Okay, well, let's not judge an orange by its peel then. I mean, let's take an orange for example then. How would you use the entire fruit?
Yeah, I mean, we have a few examples here. So, an orange. We before I took over the menu, we would do a fresh squeezed orange juice, and we would throw away the entire peel as well as the rind, as the pulp too. So what we have instead is, let me just flip it over, is we make a marmalade out of the rind. From the peel, we steep into vinegar. The segments we use as a garnish on a few separate dishes. The zest we cure tuna with, as well as the zest we put into our orange dressing. And we also macerate some seasonal fruits as well with that too.
Oh, I like that. Hey, you've got some things laid out there in front of you. Tell us more.
Yeah, definitely. So on our left here, we have a couple of our members' products that we use in the salads. Um, Tall Shadow Sourdough, Indian Pantry Masala, as well as Kula's Pili Pili sauce. And all of that gets combined in our feature salad, which is a kale one. So it uses oranges in the dressing, oranges as a garnish, oranges to cook the carrots. And it was just trying to figure out different ways to use this one waste product that we had.
If your philosophy is to reduce waste and you also want to have some really interesting ingredients, I guess how do you encompass both of those philosophies in your business model?
For sure. I mean, whenever we do approach a recipe and wherever we're doing menu development, it's always questioning every single step and seeing where the waste occurs and why is it occurring. So when it came with something like the oranges, or if we're experimenting with a broccoli salad right now, usually the stems are thrown away for no apparent reason other than you just throw them out. But what we do is turn that into a slaw, we char the florets and just separate them almost like you would a piece of meat and just get the most out of each one. It's trying to remove waste out of the entire equation.
Well, it sounds like you've really cast a wide net with different tastes and ingredients out there. Any interesting ingredients that are on your radar that you haven't quite figured out what you're going to do with them yet?
We have a vegan oyster sauce company that's joining us, as well as a coconut yogurt company too. And I'd really like to see how to incorporate those into more of a cafe menu while summer's still here. Yeah, as well as I guess Indian Pantry has a number of separate spices, simmering sauces, and blends, and just trying to incorporate more spices into our menu as well too.
Well, you get back to the experimenting. We look forward to what you come up with, Taeyoung. Thank you so much.
Thank you.